Hey guys, what is going on? It is Dennis here, and welcome to this 2000 subscriber special. Pretty late, yeah, I know. I am already at almost 2,500 subs, so when that comes, I'll do another video similar to this one. But anyways, yeah. So 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for helping me reach this goal. It's pretty good. Had the YouTube channel open for over a year, and yeah, so it's pretty good. Anyways, in this video we're going to be talking about funding. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the I might have two parts. I might only just do one big part, so we'll see. My computer, still the old computer. It probably can't render a 45-minute video. Maybe it can. I'm not sure, so we'll see. In the background of the video, you guys will see Miracle Time. This is not actually the recent Miracle Time. This is the one that happened in the summertime, so this is the second to last one that happened. And basically this is the first time they introduced bonus cubes, and they made it so that you could tier them up really easily. So in this video you're going to be seeing a lot of tier ups. I spent around 350k, I think. I'm not too sure because it's been a long time, but yeah, I think I spent around 350k. So anyways, yeah, let's talk. So there are three different levels of funding, and how do I want to go about describing this? Yeah, I don't really have a script for this. I have a whole list of things, so I'm just gonna try to hit all the bullet points. Hopefully after you guys watch the video, the cubing and everything, you guys will have fun watching that, and you guys will learn something. There are three different levels of funding that I like to look at. The first being low level funding, the second being medium level funding, and the third being high level funding. Now, two things right off the bat that I want to explain to you guys. First of all, if you want a solo Chaos Vellum, you don't actually need legendary 21% gears. A lot of people overshoot their funding and they don't really understand like the degree of funding they really need. Realistically, if you want a solo Chaos Vellum, you could do it with most characters with just unique 15% gears. If all your gears are unique 15% and you have 4% nebulites on all of them, all your gears have been star forced. Your weapon, your secondary, and your emblem are legendary with legendary bonus potential, 21% attack or percent magic attack, whichever applies to you. You can solo Chaos Vellum with just that. And a lot of people think they need 30% legendary gears. You only really need 15% gears with 4% nebulites. So that's the first thing I want to tell you guys. The second thing is, again, I said there are three levels of funding: low, medium, and high level funding. Straight off, I'll tell you guys, I do not recommend medium level funding, and here's the explanation for why. Medium level funding, in my opinion, is when you have around 1 mil range, give or take, and most characters with the 1 mil range, the biggest problem is the fact that they still can't do anything. So what I mean by that is, if you have a 1 mil range, for the most part, you're not going to be able to kill any of the high-end bosses. So there's really no difference from you having a 1 mil range and having a 100k range, because you're not going to be able to kill any of the high-end bosses, which means you're technically wasting money. So right off the bat, I do not recommend medium level funding. That being said, if you have a 1 mil range, you can probably kill Hard Magnus if you know exactly what you're doing. So if you have a certain degree of skill, you can indeed kill bosses, but for the most part, people who just barely reach 1 mil range, they really don't have the skill necessary to take down Hard Magnus or any of the other profitable bosses. So for that reason, I do not recommend medium level funding, because it's basically throwing your money away. I recommend saving your money and going to high level funding directly. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about low level funding. Low level funding, in my opinion, is the baseline of things. Personally, for myself, how I went about funding is I went from a completely naked character all the way straight up to high-end godly gears. So that's how I fund. I do not believe in medium level funding because, again, it's a waste of money. And after, like, say for example, you medium level fund, right? After you medium level fund and you get a considerable amount of money, you can go into high level funding. What are you going to do with your medium level funded gears? You're just going to have to go through the trouble of reselling them. The whole entire concept of medium level funding is completely flawed in my opinion, and it's unnecessary. So again, talking about low level funding, what I consider to be low level funding is completely naked or at the maximum. Like, this is the maximum for low level funding. Do not go beyond this point. Basically, clean Empress. This just full clean Empress. Do not get a shoulder and do not get a cape. So just full Empress. You spell trace the Empress. Do not clean slate any of the fail spell traces. Use like 70% spell traces. Pass what you can. Afterwards, Star Force your gears up. Only go to 10 stars. There's no point going to 11 stars because that costs too much mesos. So that's low level funding. If you truly want to have some equipment, just go for that and do not go for any more than that, you know? So yeah, that's really it for low level and medium level funding. There's not that much to say about it. I personally recommend just again full Empress and that's it. Medium level funding, completely ignore it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about high level funding. And this is where the talk is going to take a long time, which is why you can see the video is 45 minutes long. I'm not sure how long the commentary is going to be, again, because I don't have a script, but we'll work things out. One way or another, I'm going to commentate through the whole video. So yeah, talking about funding, godly or high level funding, there are different stages in that, in my opinion. And different stages, again, I explained to you guys, if you have only 15% unique gears, you can still theoretically kill Chaos Vellum. Again, it's with the skill. Like, say for example, I explained if you have a 1 mil range, you most likely can't kill anything. However, if you have a lot of character control, you know exactly what the boss is doing, you can probably kill the boss. So in that same sense, if you know exactly how to Chaos Vellum, you know exactly how to control your character, with a 15% full 15% gears with nebulites and legendary potentials, you can theoretically kill Chaos Vellum, depending on what character you're playing. You know, like, I heard dual blades are pretty weak, so you probably can't do it on a dual blade, but a fire poison mage, I know for a fact that you can do it. So it depends on the character as well. So, yeah, high level funding, there are different stages. I just described 15% stages. Fluffalo, my fire poison mage, he's currently in the 21% stages, which is legendary gears. 2 lines of percent int usually gets you around 18 to 21%. So that's the stage that I'm in. And there is another stage of funding which I call the godly stage. And this is the stage of funding where I personally don't want to get into because I feel like it's wasteful. This is the stage where people like to aim for. They like to aim for 30% gears, and that's all godly and all, but the problem with 30% gears is the fact that you're wasting money, in my opinion. Some people do it because they just want to achieve that goal, which is cool. I respect that, but personally, as a merchant, it's wasteful in my opinion. I feel like the best you should go is to just solo Chaos Vellum, and you shouldn't go beyond that. But of course, other people, we all have our own set of goals, and that's totally cool. So if you do want to achieve 30% on all your gears, just know that it's overshooting, and you don't actually need 30%. If you just want to kill Chaos Vellum, I guess 21% is good enough. So yeah. So now with funding and the biggest questions, I have a few viewers that have been private messaging me and asking me like how to fund because they told me like, okay, I have 200 billion mesos. How exactly do I buy my equips? And that's a very legitimate question. This video is about talking about funding, and part of funding is also about finding the equips, or I'll have to split this out into a separate category as well. Two different ways to get your equips. First way is to buy them pre-made, and second way is to make them yourself. So yeah, that'll have to. I'm not sure how I'm going to format this video, but yeah, I guess I'll start with that. So assuming you want to buy your equips, right? Assuming you want to buy your equips, basically what I recommend is well, I feel like, no, I feel like it's better if I talk about self-making your equips first. So let's talk about self-making. When you self-make your equips, the thing is, when you cube your own equips, you want to balance all your percents. For example, if you're cubing a shoe and you're cubing a top and a hat, you cube all those things, try to get them all to the same percent, like there's no point getting a 30% hat and a 15% top because the 30% hat is overshooting and it's completely wasting your money. So the best way to do it is to balance all the percents, and if you can do it like that, then that'll save you the most amount of money and give you the biggest range boosts in the most cost efficient way. So that's self-making your gears. Personally, I have self-made my gear. I don't see the issue with it. The only reason I could see for why you would want to self-make your gear is if the gear is very exclusive and hard to find. Personally, when I fund, I like to do a combination of self-making and buying gears at the same time. I personally like to self-make my weapons because I feel like weapons are usually overpriced in the market, and you can self-scroll your weapons and also self-cube the bonus potentials, main potentials of your secondary weapon on your own. So I really don't feel like there's any need to buy pre-made items. I'll cover more about this topic later, about specifically weapon potentials. So yeah, that's my opinion about funding for self-making your equips and for for self-making your equips. Let's go ahead and talk about my opinion of um, buying your equips pre-made. The thing about buying your equips pre-made is, again, I just said for self-making your equips, you want to balance everything. Say for example, you're going for 15%, everything should be around 15%, give or take. Having a 12% item and having an 18% item, that's totally fine. For the most part, if you want to add all your gears up, you want to add all your main potentials up, and you want to divide it by that number, and the average should come out as around 15%. And if you do that, then that means you're effectively spending your money. So I'm talking about self-making, or no, I keep messing up. Talking about buying your own equips. The thing about buying your own equips is you don't actually want to balance. This may sound counterintuitive, but the difference is, well, you know, again, I am a merchant, and I do always look for the most cost-efficient way. And a lot of the things that I do, it's all theory, but, you know, I've tested out the theories, and I've successfully funded multiple characters, not just my own characters, but I also help fund other people's characters. I tell them what to do, I give them instructions, and this is the information that I've come up with for buying the equips off the market. The thing about buying the equips is people will tend to overshoot and overprice their own items. Let's have a comparison just so you guys understand. Say for example, there's a Gullux ring, a solid Gullux ring, and it's I don't know, 30% luck, right? 30% luck solid Gullux ring. Now, the price of that ring is, I guess, it would probably be around 30 bill or so. So yeah, let's say it's 30 bill. And now let's say there's a similar potential item, a Tyrant Thief shoe that's 30%. And that Tyrant Thief shoe so happens to be like 60 bill. And you're probably wondering, why is the Tyrant shoe so expensive? The thing is, when you buy your own gears, what you want to do is you want to separate everything. You want to, how do I explain this properly? You want to shoot for higher percents on items that are less quote unquote desirable. And what that means is, to make things simple, if you're buying a Tyrant, it's better to buy a lower percent Tyrant. And if you're buying something like a Gullux, solid Gullux ring, it's better to shoot as high as possible for percents, because the pricing ratios are going to be different. If there's like a 21% ring versus a 21% Tyrant shoe, there will be a certain price, right? But then if, say for example, that 21%, there are 24% rings and 24% shoes, you'll see the price of the ring rise to a certain amount because there's a 3% difference. But if you compare a 21% Tyrant shoe to a 24% Tyrant shoe, you'll see that the prices rise even more simply because it's a Tyrant shoe. So what you'd want to do is you want to buy, if you're going to buy Tyrants, buy them at lower percents. And if you want to buy solid Gullux rings or other I guess like other less popular items, you'd want to shoot for higher percents because you're going to get more bang for your buck, if that makes sense. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just, you know, leave a comment down below. I will answer it. This is a subscriber special video for you guys. So yeah. And again, you do not want to balance the equips. You want to unbalance the equips in the sense where if you're buying a Tyrant, get less percent. Let's do another comparison. For example, let's compare a superior Gullux ring to a cracked Gullux ring. Ignoring all the scrolling, let's just take a look at the percents on the items. If you compare a 15% cracked Gullux ring to a 15% superior Gullux ring, you're going to notice a huge price difference. Now let's compare a 21% cracked ring to a 21% superior ring. You'll notice the price climbs for both of them. Of course, they're higher percents, so the price just should be higher. But you know, there's a 6% difference for each ring, 15% versus 21%. There's a 6% difference, but you'll notice that the 6% difference for the cracked ring is going to be much more cost efficient than the 6% difference for the superior ring. Now ask yourself this question. What's the difference? Why, if you're going to get another 6%, say for example you want 6% more for your own personal increase of range, it would be better for you to buy a 15% superior ring and buy a 21% cracked ring. In the end, your range increases the same, right? But you're paying less money for it. So that's basically the explanation for what I'm trying to give. Tyrants and superior Gulaks and all those kinds of items, they are going to cost more as the percents increase. That's natural, but they're going to cost even, like, the people who sell these items are going to price them at a higher and higher rate. So it's more cost efficient to buy more quote unquote unpopular items for the higher percents. So hopefully that makes sense for you guys. Now, with funding, there are different goals, and I should have probably mentioned this earlier. Again, talking about Chaos Vellum, I'm going to use Chaos Vellum as a benchmark for higher level funding. And don't be discouraged, because I know some people, they really don't care about Chaos Vellum. They just want to solo Chaos Pierre, Chaos Queen, and Hard Magnus, and that's totally fine. Don't worry, it sounds daunting at first, I know, but just we're going to use Chaos Vellum as the benchmark because I feel like he's a good way to measure funding. Again, I talked about 3 different levels of high level funding: 15% gears, 21% gears, and 30% gears. You have to pick your goals, whatever boss you want to kill. If you just want to kill Hard Magnus, Chaos Pierre, and Chaos Queen, you'd want to go after an average of 15% gears. And this, that average can fluctuate. I know if you're making your own gears, they should all be around 15%. If you're buying the gears, still try to add up all the percents and try to average them to around 15%. So yeah, that's the thing about that. If you really want to go after Chaos Vellum, you'd want to have an average of around 21% per gear. Again, this is just main potential. You do not calculate bonus potentials or nebulites together with this percent. This is just main potentials. And if you really want to be crazy godly, just get 30% for all your gears. Again, in my opinion, it's not necessary, but if you really want to just hit damage cap on everything, go for it. For Chaos Vellum, you do not actually need to hit damage cap to kill him, and that's the thing that I'm trying to highlight here. Now, 2 things about funding. First one, funding is about goals. I just talked about the goals, and you want to aim for the 15%, 21%, or the 30% for your high-end funding. So whatever your goal is, aim for that specifically. And the second thing is trying to look through my paper to see what I'm missing. We're talking about crap. Where is it? Okay, never mind what I just said. But yeah, that's really funding. It's not as complicated as it looks. Self-buying the gears or making them yourself, like, there's nothing wrong with either of them. You'd want to mix them up. Ideally you want to mix it up. Again, I believe I already mentioned this. Let's go ahead and talk about the thing that I mentioned earlier, but I didn't really talk too much about it, and that is about weapon potentials. I talked extensively about the percent gears, like 15%, 21%, and 30%. Let's talk about weapon potentials. And after talking about weapon potentials, I want to talk about one more other thing, which is about cost efficiency. So definitely stay tuned for that part as well. So let's talk about weapon potentials. Now, the thing about weapon potentials is, I want to say this right here and right now, a lot of people don't actually know this, but you can reach 200% boss without using a single cube. Yeah, so I'll repeat that again, let it sink in. You can reach 200% boss without using a single cube. Set effects, character cards, link skills, dojo gloves, nebulites, you can reach 200% boss without a single cube. That is something that you guys need to know right now. And in order to be cost efficient, you also have to level up your link skills, and you also have to level up and focus on those things. So yeah, that's really important for you guys to know. Personally, for myself, I want to talk about boss nebulites really quickly. There are 2 different boss nebulites that are available, 20% and 25% boss nebs. The thing is, 20% boss nebs are very cheap in comparison to 25% boss nebs. And what is that? You can use 2 boss nebs. So you can either have 40% for a total, because you put 2 20% on your weapon and secondary, or you can put 2 25% on them and have a 50% boss. And what's that difference in that 10% boss? I want to ask you guys that right now. The thing is, you don't actually need 25% boss nebs. They're more or less decorational, it's just more for character completion if you really care that much. But realistically, to be cost efficient, you can get 20% boss nebs and be totally fine. You can still solo Chaos Vellum. There's absolutely no issue at all. 20% boss nebs are fine. So if you're the guy that's aiming for 15% average equips or an average of around 21%, you can get the 20% boss nebs and it'll still be cool. But if you really want to go crazy godly again, get the 30% gears for everything, go ahead and get the 25% boss nebs just for completion's sake, I guess. But again, 25% boss nebs is overfunding and there's absolutely no no necessity for it. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about bonus potential. I mean, no, sorry, scratch that. Let's go ahead and talk about weapon potentials. First and foremost, the most ideal percent boss. A lot of people ask this question, what's the most ideal percent boss? The most ideal percent boss would be around 250 to 300% boss, and even going past 300% boss is not a bad idea. A lot of people debate whether they want to go for percent attack or for percent boss. Percent attack does give you more range, but percent boss gives you more damage if you're bossing. And the thing is, realistically, it's really hard to calculate the math for it, but I'm confident to say that getting 300% boss, your percent boss would still most likely be better than getting percent attack. So I want to highlight that right now. If you want to go for percent attack on your potentials, go for percent attack on your bonus potentials. A word of warning though, I've spent around 400 KNX cubing bonus potentials for my weapons. It's pretty fucking hard to get good potentials on there. So if you land multiple lines of percent critical, percent total, or percent attack on your bonus potentials, I'd recommend you keeping those. But of course, if you're rich, just keep on going, I suppose. But yeah, that's my word of warning with bonus potentials. So ideally, if you want bonus potentials, go after percent attack, percent critical, or percent total damage lines on the bonus potentials. Let's talk about the main potentials now. So the main potentials, oh, I forgot to mention one other thing. I talk about percent attack and percent total damage. I don't want to go behind the math. If you want to go after the math, Google some threads up on Basil Market. There are a lot of people who are pretty knowledgeable on this topic, and they do a lot of math equations for the difference between percent total damage and percent attack. TLDR, all you need to know is percent attack is going to be better in most situations. So just go after percent attack. Percent total is not actually better. So yeah. So let's talk about PDR now. PDR is ignore defense, and depending on your goals, again, you're going to have to figure out what you want for percent PDR. Ideally, I recommend 85% PDR multiplicative, and the status window, you might be a little bit confused. For example, if you have a Leaf Ray Codex which gives 30% PDR and you have a 30% line on your weapon, if you equip them both and you look at your status window, it's not actually going to show 60%. There is again, if you want to Google this up, there are formulas, and it's not that math intensive. It's actually a pretty easy formula, but basically they are not additive. They are multiplicative. I don't want to go too math heavy, but basically, if you have like two lines of 60%, it's probably going to show up as like 52% or something. You know, I didn't actually do the math, but I'm just going to throw a random number out there. So it's going to show a lower number. And the reason why is because the more PDR you get, you can't actually reach 100% PDR on the stats window. So what I'd recommend for most people is around 85% PDR. However, if you want to solo Chaos Vellum, I'd recommend at least a 90% PDR. And basically, to translate those numbers, what 90% PDR usually means is a superior Golok set, you know, all the set effects, all the character cards, blah blah blah, 2 lines of PDR on all your weapon potentials, and no, you don't have to do PDR nebulites or anything like that, but yeah, 2 lines of PDR on your weapon potential should get you around 90%, assuming you have all the standard set effects and everything. So that's usually what I recommend if you want to go after Chaos Vellum. It doesn't hurt to get more PDR if you really want it, but if you don't care about Chaos Vellum, 1 or 2 lines of PDR is all you really need on your weapon potentials. So let's talk about actually cubing the weapon potentials. It's completely unavoidable. You have to cube. And I know a lot of people, they don't like cubing. They just want to buy the weapon, they want to buy the secondary, and they want to, you know, you have an emblem, you're going to have to cube the emblem. That's just the fact, like that's just as blunt as it gets. You have to cube it. So the reason why I talk about earlier, I talked about funding, and I talked about buying your own equips or self-making the equips. The reason why I do not recommend actually buying your weapons or your secondary pre-made is because for the most part, people are just going to overprice the lines. They get 3 good lines or 3 lines that are helpful. They're just going to overprice it. And the thing is, those lines are probably not going to be the most beneficial for yourself. So looking at your potentials, the thing you have to realize is you can't just blindly get 3 decent lines on all 3, the emblem, the weapon, and the secondary. You have to look at all the lines together. And this is why I mentioned getting 200% boss using dojo gloves, nebulites, set effects, character cards, and blah blah blah. You have to consider everything together. And you have to look at everything in the stat window. So when you cube, you don't just cube the weapon. You're technically cubing all 3 things, and you're looking at them, comparing the lines, making sure you have the optimal percent PDR, making sure you have the optimal percent boss, and everything else like that. So when you cube, for example, like this may sound pretty godly. You get like a 40% PDR, 30% PDR, 30% boss, right? You get that on your weapon, and on your secondary, you get like 30% PDR, 30% PDR, 9% attack. The thing is, you have four different lines of percent PDR. Although the lines are technically godly or technically end game, having too much percent PDR is not going to help you because you're sacrificing those lines for other potentially useful lines. So you have to look at all the potentials together. Also, I just want to mention this again for cost efficiency's sake. For example, if you're a phantom, right? I am funding a phantom myself. So if you're a phantom, the thing is, well, if you're phantom, a luminous, etc., etc., most non-adventurer jobs, they do not have the emblem where it's a level 100 adventurer emblem. They have a level 60 emblem from boss arena. And the thing about the level 60 emblem is because it's not actually the 3rd tier, you don't actually get the biggest amount of lines. If you're legendary, you don't actually get the 12% attack. You only get 9% attack. So everything is a degree less. The thing is, what you'd ideally want to aim for if you're self-cubing everything and you're a phantom is you'd want to ideally aim for the 2% or the 2 lines of percent PDR on the level 60 boss emblem. And the reason for why that is because PDR lines are for the most part unchanged. Whether you're cubing a level 100 item or a level 60 item, percent PDR is, for the most part stable. So for cost efficiency's sake and for all other efficiency's sake, you'd want to aim for the PDR lines on your emblem, and then for your card or for your secondary weapon and for your main weapon, you'd want to aim for lines of percent attack, percent whatever you'd really want, I guess. Ideally percent attack and percent boss. So that's really what I recommend for that. Again, this is the ideal situation. If you don't reach that ideal situation, that's cool. Just work things out yourself. Make sure you aim for the 85 to 90% PDR. Make sure you get the 250 to 300% boss. Even higher doesn't hurt. So yeah, that's for weapon potentials. Hopefully I didn't confuse you guys too much about that. If necessary, I will type things down in the description so you guys can get a review, I guess. You can read everything, get a recap of this whole entire video. So let's talk about the next thing. Again, I am a merchant. We strive for cost efficiency. We're not just here throwing thousands of dollars in the game and just getting a high range, because that's not what we do. We try to do it in the most cost efficient way. So let's talk about cost efficiency. And there's a lot of debates about this and things. We continue to juggle things back and forth. So first of all, I want to mention to you guys, Lightning God Ring is completely useless. And I know a lot of people, they're like, oh my god, I want a Lightning God Ring. The thing about the Lightning God Ring is the fact that it costs way too damn much for anything good. And what I mean by that is, how can you justify paying an extra 10 bill just for like 16 extra attack that the Lightning God Ring gives? How do you justify that? You can't actually justify it. Here's the thing. Paying 10 bill for an extra 10 attack. Do you know when it would actually be cost efficient to get a Lightning God Ring? Let me put this into perspective for you guys. Let's say, for example, all your tyrants are 15 stars. You have all 15-star Tyrants, you got Tyrant gloves, they're all 15 stars, all your items are 30%, you got 4% Nebulites on everything, your items have 20% boss nebs, or 25% rather. Bonus potentials are completely perfect. You literally have nothing else to do. The only way to increase your damage is to pay 10 bill for the extra 16 attack that the LGR gives. That's putting it to perspective for you guys for why I feel the LGR is completely useless. You're paying an extra 10 bill, or whatever the price is for the LGR in your server, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be overpriced regardless. You're paying an extra 10 bill for 16 attack. How do you justify that? If you look at your equips right now and you look at the LGR that you have on you, if you do have an LGR, you realize that if your Tyrants are not 15 stars, you could have easily gotten that damage increase by just no boom AEE and Guardian Scrolls and increasing your Tyrant stars by 1. You know, if your Tyrants are all 10 stars, there's no point to getting an LGR, because if you really want that attack boost, just spend some NX and get one of your Tyrants to 11 stars. Immediately, that's already going to be more cost efficient than buying the Lightning God Ring. So again, that's why I'm saying the Lightning God Ring is useless unless you're that one guy that wants to get 30% gears on everything and go for absolute perfection. Of course, there are situations where I know, like my friend, he's a Xenon. You know, it's hard to find Xenon gear sometimes. I'm sure if you're also a Demon Avenger, it's hard to find percent HP gears. So, you know, here and there I can justify buying an LGR if you really can't find like normal gears and you just happen to find an LGR with 30% HP and you're a Demon Avenger, you know, I guess go for it since the gears are so rare. But generally speaking, LGR is completely useless. So I'm putting that out there for you guys right now. We are merchants. We want to be as cost efficient as possible when we fund. We're not just throwing money at the screen blindly. And here's the next thing I want to talk to you guys about. That is a comparison between Reinforced Gollux and Superior Gollux. It's no secret that Superior Gollux is crazy expensive and Reinforced Gollux is very cost efficient. Now, let's look at the differences in Superior and Reinforced Gollux. Reinforced Gollux, very easily obtainable. It's very cost efficient. As long as you can kill hard Gollux, you can obtain the whole entire set by yourself. You can farm the coins, you can get the earrings from the coin store, you can get the ring from the coin store. I guess the pendants, you can get those easily from killing Gollux. He will drop them here and there. So you can basically get them for free, you know. And if you, yeah, so that's Reinforced Gollux. For the most part, completely cost efficient. Let's talk about Superior Gollux. The reason why Superior Gollux is any different from Reinforced is because it gives a little bit more extra attack. And the only real difference is the set effect, which gives an extra 15% PDR. Again, I talk about PDR, the ideal amount is 85 to 90%. Getting higher than 90% is cool. I know some of my friends, they have like 94% PDR, which is good as well. So the thing is, do you really want to pay the extra billions for just another extra 15% PDR? Again, this is the same question as the Lightning God Ring. The thing is, this is a little bit different because the fact of the matter is Superior Gollux, although it realistically doesn't have that much of difference between Reinforced and Superior, the Superior set has a much higher resale value. Again, I mentioned this earlier. The comparison between a cracked Gollux ring that's 20% or 21% and a Superior ring that's 21%. I mentioned this when I'm talking about buying your equips. The Superior is going to be much more expensive, which means if you're self-making your own items, go for the Superior set. So this goes back to that one debate between buying your items or self-making. If you are cubing the items by yourself, go ahead and get the Superior set. However, if you are buying the items, go ahead and buy the Reinforced set because it's going to be more cost efficient for you. Realistically speaking, they don't have that much of a difference, but again, if you're making the equips by yourself, you'd want to make the Superior set because you can resell it for much higher, and in that sense, it's a bigger return. So yeah, I guess I'll have to write this in the video description in my recap. I'll move this somewhere closer to that other topic. Yeah, I'm probably confusing you guys. Don't worry, I'll get the recap in the description so you guys won't be too confused. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of juggling back and forth. You know, you're thinking to yourself, do I want superior set? Do I want reinforced set? And you wanna, you're asking yourself, 20% boss nabs or 25% boss nabs? You know, how much PDR do you really need? How much percent stats do you really need? So yeah, I hope I hope everything in this video, nothing confused you guys. There will be a recap in the description of the video, so you guys can read that if you want. Again, this is a 2,000 subscriber special. It's a thank you to you guys, so thank you guys so much for helping me reach this goal. If you have any questions of, anything, like if you're watching this video, like as it's uploaded, ask the question if you want. Or maybe like even if you're watching this video 1 year later and it's going to be 2016, still ask the question. If I'm still YouTubing, I will still answer the question because this is a subscriber special as a thank you. So just, yeah. But anyways, I feel like that basically concludes the talk about funding, So for the rest of this video, I'm going to commentate about other things and we're just going to chill out, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, the cubing, I'm pretty sure it's still going. I'm not actually looking at the footage right now. I'm just recording the voice recording separately. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit down in my chair. Let me log on to Maple. I'm just looking through all my stuff. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit. Currently I am funding Cherry Tigers. I've been pretty busy again. That's nothing new. But yeah, Cherry Tigers, I'm currently funding him. I will have a video up about that really soon. I'm very, very, very excited to put this video out there. It's going to be a revival to the Road to the Strongest Phantom. Let's talk about Fluffalo for a second. My Fire Poison Mage, I didn't actually put any bossing videos for him yet, and I do apologize for that. I'm pretty late on my content. I also mentioned a video about Blaze Wizard. I still haven't put that video out there. If you want my opinion about Blaze Wizard, I completely hate them, and I feel like they're flawed because of the fact that their orbital flame just starts too slowly and it ends too slowly, and I feel like they're stuck in animation all the time, so they are good at DPS, but I feel like they're really bad in terms of bossing because they completely can't dodge that well because they're always stuck in animation and the attacks always start too slowly. So I feel like the whole concept of Blaze Wizard is flawed. So that's why I didn't continue playing it. I got it to level 200. A waste of platinum scissors, that's for sure, because I had to transfer all my gear over, but oh well, that's said and done. Fluffalo, currently he has all his gears at 21%. I'm very proud of Fluffalo. I will attach a video in the commentary. I mean a picture in the commentary. Or no, sorry, a picture in the video right now. This is a picture of me soloing Chaos Vellum. I'm very proud of this picture. Fluffalo has finally done it. I want to talk to you guys about Road to Chaos Root Abyss for Fluffalo series. I am going to continue doing that series. I can already solo Chaos Vellum. It's something that I never imagined that I could do, but I actually got it done. I have no idea how, but yeah, I'm really happy I can finally kill Chaos Vellum. Even though I can kill Chaos Vellum, I will continue showing you guys the progress. I do have all the old video recordings of like when I started. I believe Fluffalo, the latest Road to Chaos Root Abyss video, I believe his gears are still not 15% yet, so there's still a long way to go with Road to Chaos Root Abyss. I paused the series for now, but I will resume that series in 2015 when I have time. So that's about Fluffalo. Now let's talk about Cherry Tigers, and I know this is the series that I really started on my YouTube channel, Road to the Strongest Phantom, and the thing is, the series got roadblocked when Nexon deleted my items. They still haven't said whether they're going to compensate me or not. Looks like they're not going to, because I sent them 2 tickets. The first ticket just got rejected. The second ticket, they just basically said, oh, if you send a third one, we're going to punish you. So I did not send another ticket. Basically, my items got deleted. They assumed that my items were hacked, which is, I'm already over it, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I lost 150 bill from that, and because of that, I got discouraged. I quit playing the Phantom, and I funded Fluffalo. It took me 7 months or so of funding, but Fluffalo can finally kill Chaos Vellum. I'm very proud of myself for that. And now that I've done what I had to do with Fluffalo, it's time to return to the Phantom. I'm so happy to say this. We are returning to the Phantom, and I can't wait to show you guys the videos for him. Wow. I'm looking at a No, because I'm online right now. I'm looking at some guy asking. Never mind, it's just some random shit. But yeah, I'm so happy to be able to bring back the Phantom videos, and I know I haven't been uploading that many videos as of late, but yeah, we're going to get the Phantom videos up again. Um, the Phantom did get nerfed just recently, but honestly, I don't really give a crap about the nerf. My opinion about the nerf, it's going to make the damage hose quit, and it's going to that just basically means all the real dedicated Phantoms are going to stay Phantoms, and all the other damage hose, they can switch to Nightwalker, Nightlord, Shadower, whatever they want to switch to. So this basically kicks out all the fake Phantoms, I guess you can say. But you know, I'm not going to say it like that because I do understand people want to get the biggest bang for their buck, and the Phantom got nerfed. But yeah, very happy that I can play the Phantom again. Just a sneak preview of the next Phantom video. It's going to be huge. I promise you guys, this video is going to be huge. It's going to be a video of me spending, I don't even know how much mesos I spent. I'm pretty sure I spent at least 100 billion mesos. You guys will see me spend all 100 billion mesos in video. It's going to be a huge video, so stay tuned for the next return to the Road to the Strongest Phantom. Personally, Road to the Strongest Phantom, I theoretically can't be the strongest Phantom because, again, I talk about having all 30% gears as being wasteful, so I can't really be the strongest. But as long as I can solo Chaos Velum on my Phantom, I'm very happy. I don't want to, I don't want to ruin or spoil anything for you guys, but if you recall, in 2013, before my items got deleted on my Phantom, my damage range was around 1.2 mil on the Phantom, buffed 1.2 mil. Right now, currently as I am, my Phantom is, once again, 1.2 mil buffed. I'm so happy to say this. I've recovered to the point where I am back to where I started in 2013 and 2014. So we're going to get this Phantom to 2 mil range. I'm making this declaration right now. Hopefully I can, succeed. Before 2015, I want to get my Phantom to 2 mil buffed. So hopefully there's going to be a lot of consecutive Phantom videos coming out until I get to 2 mil. So yeah, the Star Force patch really helped with funding, but yeah. So there are a lot of things I have to do. For example, I bought a superior ring from somebody. I'm not going to tell you what percent the superior ring is. You guys will see it in video, the next video that I put out. But the superior ring, I bought it. It's still unscrolled, so I'm going to have to scroll that in live commentary. Other things, I have a Tyrant shoe. It's completely clean. I'm going to have to star that with Star Force. I have a cape. I'm going to also do that in live commentary where I Star Force that. And I have a hat that is legendary with 0% luck. So legendary 0% luck hat, I'm going to cube that in live commentary. Also, my boss arena emblem, both the main potential and bonus potential are lacking. I'm going to have to cube that. So there's going to be a lot of live commentaries as well. And I'm so excited to bring back the Phantom. Like, you guys have no idea how happy I am to log onto this Phantom again. And I guess if you go to FM1 Channel 1, you can see that I've opened a second store. I'm not trying to advertise so I can sell more, but I'm just so happy that I can say this. I have a second store open now, and it's for Cherry Tigers. So I have one for Flufflo and one for Cherry Tigers. I can't wait to start bossing on Cherry Tigers because it's something that I've waited for so long. I tried to do this in 2013, but then items got deleted. So here we are back again, ready to try to achieve our goals. So yeah, sadly my computer isn't exactly the best. So if it was the best, I guarantee you I would be recording bossing content for you guys. But sadly my computer isn't exactly that good. So I don't know to what confidence I can record bossing videos, but I promise you guys I will try my best to record live commentary bossing videos as well. So for Fire Poison Mage, for Phantom, and also I'm not stopping there. I have 2 accounts made. I have other plans. Someone asked me about my account Sourchasm. Sourchasm, it was a Paladin or Dark Knight. She got nerfed, and that's the sad thing. But even though she got nerfed, the thing is, I like her NX, I like the way I made her hair, I like the way I made her face, I like everything about her, and I like the IGN as well. What I'm going to do with Sourchasm is I'm going to wait for the cash transfer event, which comes hopefully before 2015. I heard there was something like that coming next week for cash transfer. I can't say with 100% certainty that it's coming, but if it does come, I'm definitely going to use it. My plan with Sourchasm is this. I'm going to cash transfer all her NX items over. I've already platinum scissored all her equips. I'm going to transfer all her equips into the storage. Then after that happens, I'm going to delete I'm going to delete Sarcasm. I'm going to completely delete her character and remake Sarcasm as a Demon Avenger. That's right, I'm going to be playing a Demon Avenger for my third main. A lot of people say Demon Avenger is shitty, they say the attack is slow and all that, blah blah blah. Personally, I feel like Demon Avenger is underhyped, and for those reasons, I'm playing the Demon Avenger. So I can't wait to play that Demon Avenger. Basically, I'm going to reuse the IGN, so my Demon Avenger is going to be a female Demon Avenger named Sarcasm. With the cash transfer event, I'm going to move all of her Sarcasm's cash items over to the Demon Avenger, and we're going to redo the royal hair and royal face to get it looking exactly like Sarcasm looked before. So Sarcasm is gone. I know some of you guys have asked me like, hey, where's Sarcasm? She is no longer going to be a paladin or a dark knight. She's going to be reborn as a Demon Avenger. But anyways, I've somehow made it through this 45-minute commentary. A lot of fun to do this commentary. If you have any questions about how to fund the character or anything like that, definitely leave it in the comment section below. I will try my best to help you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for helping me reach 2,000 subscribers. I just finished my final exams yesterday. I'm so happy that I have extra time. I do have other pharmacy stuff to do. My next deadline is December 30th. So I have to study for a test at December 30th. But of course, I will find time to YouTube. So yeah. Anyways, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the video. Tell me if you have any questions, ask them. If you want to ask me any questions about Demon Avenger, go ahead and ask me. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys later.